Welcome back to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham. A fresh row was erupting tonight after a British musician was harassed for filming a piano set in St Pancras train station. YouTuber pianist Brendan Kavanagh was tinkling the ivories at the London train station when he was confronted by a group of Chinese Communist Party members. The interaction gets heated when the activists tell Kavanagh to stop filming, then accuse him of racism when he proclaims that Britain is a free country and that we are not in communist China. Have a look at this.
Into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we will put a legal action
really?
into it.
For what?
We will.
Legal
I'm
action
sorry, this is the end of the conversation. This is our right we're protecting, and that's it.
But what right? I don't understand.
Image right.
Image right?
Yeah, we're not sharing this image right.
Are you from China?
That's not a question. The only thing we are arguing is that we are protecting our own image rights. You're not sharing.
But we're in public.
Yeah, exactly. No sharing.
So we're not allowed
no
to share?
sharing. Yes, no sharing us. Share it yourself, that's fine. No sharing us.
Okay.
No sharing.
Please share me.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So,
and if one day,
see, the thing is, we're in a
I'm
free,
really sorry, we're on a schedule here.
So me too, but we're in a free country, mate.
That's true.
We're not in communist China now, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is racist now.
No, we're not in communist China. We're in a free country. We're in a free country, mate. We can film where we want. You can call the police if you want. I'll be quite happy to call the police, you know. But listen, we're all free here, mate.
This is free, but.
In a statement, the British Transport Police say, we are aware of a video circulating on social media of a disagreement in St Pancras railway station on Friday the 19th of January. Officers on patrol came across the incident and the situation was de-escalated. The video of the incident has now gone viral. And the man at the centre of it, Brendan Kavanagh, joins me right now, as well as Professor Eric Kaufman from the Faculty of Common Sense. God knows we need some of that from the University of Buckingham. Brendan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
The Independent Republic of Mike Graham, very different from the Independent...
the People's Republic.
People's Republic of China. What an extraordinary event. I mean, first of all, I have to say to the guy, I'm afraid we're not in, are you from China? Is definitely a question, even though he doesn't seem to think it is. How did you know they were from the Chinese Communist Party? They were waving flags, right?
Well, they were obviously waving communist flags, and the girl came up to me and she said, "Oh, we're from a Chinese TV station." Right. So obviously they're going to have connections with the CCP. Right. And it just got very heated when I started questioning him. Clearly, this guy was used to being obeyed. Yeah. All right. And
what were they worried about you filming? Presumably you were just filming yourself playing piano.
Well, they were extra. This was what's called the Streisand effect, which I've just recently learned about. When you try and keep something secret, and by trying keeping it secret, it's actually blown. This guy, the shouty guy, has become a YouTube star. Right. Yes. You know. And they were waving around disclosure things in China. They said, no film disclosure. Right. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't decided, and basically he just made a fuss about nothing, and now he's a YouTube star. And now we've created an international diplomatic incident with the Chinese, and I do believe that MI5 are involved.
Yes, well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Eric, this is quite an extraordinary tale. I mean, on the face of it, when I first saw it this afternoon, I thought this is ridiculous. And then we managed to get Brendan to come in. But it is mad, isn't it, where people from another country can come here. I mean, you said at one point to him, well, imagine if I'd gone into China and decided to start telling people in China what they can film.
I know, he wanted to turn St Pancras into the People's Republic of St Pancras. And I thought, no way, we're in London. He was obviously used to being obeyed. And some Chinese people have said, if you were shouted at like that in China, you'd be taken off to the camps, and because that shout puts the fear of God in you.
You wouldn't be playing the piano again. Eric, I mean, is this kind of thing common? I mean, do people from the Chinese government television agency go around London filming things which nobody's allowed to see?
Well, I'm not aware of that. I know in different countries there is a sense in which you can't necessarily film in public. But I think what's interesting about this case with Brendan is that you've got the coming together of Chinese state authoritarianism with woke progressive authoritarianism, right? So he was, first of all, accused of racism. They knew to accuse him of racism because they knew in this society that suddenly keys into progressive authoritarianism, and then the police came in and took that very seriously because that's the highest value in the society.
And I'm pretty sure that being accused of racism when you've just said, "Are you from China?" it's not really racist to say, "Are you from China?" Is it?
Not at all, not at all. But the fact that anything which could be construed by the most sensitive person on the planet as being racist is enough to put you in the dock. Right. And that's the way this ideology operates. And it's interesting that the Chinese, even the CCP people know that they can weaponize. I mean, and they do this all the time. I mean, in Canada, for example, again, where I'm from, you know, the Canadian government and a bunch of activists were stupid enough to call Canada's treatment of the Native people a genocide. So when the international community in Canada says, oh, you're committing atrocities against the Uyghurs, they'll just turn around and say, oh, but you look at how you treat your native people. And then that's the end of the story. So we were kind of useful idiots for these people.
Well, that's true. And in terms of how it all sort of ended, I mean, you play the piano a lot in St. Pancras, don't you? Because we had you on, not when you were on in person, but a few weeks ago, you had a problem with some of the police there trying to close the piano lid on you, didn't you?
I mean, generally, I don't go looking for problems, you know, but the thing
How often do you go and play the piano there?
I just go one. Well, it's not just in St. Pancras, you know. It's wherever there's public pianos. I'm all about live music. I mean, I like unscripted and not asking for permission. You know, I think there's too many musicians who ask for permission. It's all becoming a bit tame. So I'm a bit edgy. I do public interactions. I do spontaneity, and sometimes the guards don't like it because. You know, I might not follow the rules, or I might move the piano slightly. And I just, when somebody tries to enforce a pointless rule, I don't know, there's something in my nature, I just bristle, you know what I mean?
Well, there is something weird about it, isn't it? They put a piano out there for somebody to play, and then if you start playing it, they tell you to stop playing it. Well, it's kind of a weird development in our society.
You know, I think it's just people want to ask. You have to ask permission for everything. You know what I mean? And this Chinese guy, the shouty guy, what I know, if you watch that video, it's all about their rights, my rights, our rights, and it's all about what I couldn't do and what they could do. And I thought, hold on. This whole thing is about your rights, my rights, and you can't do this. And I thought, blimey, we are in London town, and I've got a bunch of Chinese people from the Communist Party telling me what I can't do. And I kind of just, the old British instinct of rebellion. And
I'm
I thought,
exactly like
enough is enough.
I used to find this, I used to live in New York, and I used to film a lot in streets, in Manhattan streets, you know, and they'd have all these runners, people who would be wearing those, you know, those kind of Ghostbusters ones I was filming, and they'd wear those kind of, you know, jackets with Ghostbusters written on the back, and they'd have some walkie-talkies, and they stop you from walking, and they go, no, you can't go down there. And I go, well, I'm going, that's where I'm walking. This is, you know, my city. I live here. I'm walking down 57th Street, whether you like it or not. We're filming. I'm like, I couldn't care less. You know, I'm walking. You know, and I agree with you that you shouldn't be stopped from. And also, they can't buy. You know, if they want to buy St. Pancras Station and close it off and film just for themselves, I'm sure there's a price for that. But you can't do it in public and expect nobody to pay attention.
The thing is, they wanted complete privacy in a station where there was thousands of people. And, you know, that everyone's there filming, and they want complete privacy. They don't want anyone filming them. They don't want to be known. And they were going around waving these yellow Chinese anti-disclosure things. And they said it's an extremely sensitive issue. The guy is very, very sensitive. I mean, for goodness sake, now he's a YouTube star.
And also he went...
he's a YouTube star. Now he's been recognised in the street.
The other great one was...
baby.
Yeah. The other great one was, I'm on a schedule, like you care.
Yeah, I know. He said, I'm on a schedule. I said, yeah, I'm on a schedule too. And then when I questioned him again, he suddenly started shouting at me again, the shouty bit, you know. So it was a comedy of errors, but it raises a lot of serious issues.
It does.
About stupid rules, authoritarianism, and also, you know, our own British culture, how we've got to stand up to stupidity and just say no, you know, not be scared.
This is the brilliance of Brendan, is we need more people like Brendan to actually defend our freedoms.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely.
This guy,
I can't play piano, so that's one thing.
This show is full of people. So how did it end? Did you leave the station before they did?
Well, how it ended, Kerry, the British, the British Transport Police lady, gave me a really hard time. She thought she was my mum. And she said, I'm not allowed to say that they're from China because that was unacceptable. She told me I wasn't allowed to film her talking to me. I wasn't allowed to do it. And I just got sick of it. And eventually she didn't have a leg to stand on, and she just walked off. And they all walked off.
And they all walked off.
And they all walked off, and we just continued. So it was basically a storm in a teacup, caused by the fact that I said no to the Chinese communist demands. Simple as that. British people rise up against these authoritarians.
I wonder where they're going to be tomorrow.
Who?
The Chinese.
Well, they're probably back in. I don't know. I think they were only here. I mean, the irony thing is that all these Chinese people, they were in the station. They were all wearing red.
Yeah.
The girl was dressed up in a red costume. They were waving red flags, and they said, "We don't want anyone to look at us and no one to film us."
Well, then don't do it in public.
Like, hello.
Hire a studio.
You know what I mean?
It's a risk.
They could have hired a studio and just put a green screen up and pretended they were in King's Cross.
Exactly.
Or they could have worn masks and balaclavas. You know?
Well, that would have been.
Well, marched in free Palestine.
I mean, that would have exactly, you know. But the point is, when the guy obviously wasn't used to being told no, right? And when I stood up to him, he said, "What's your name? Who are you?" And he was questioning me like we were back in China and I was in the camp.
But I mean, to be fair,
totally, I thought, oh my goodness, I feel sorry for the Chinese.
There's plenty of people though in this country who behave like that, as you saw before. You know, there's plenty of people who
not as bad as that, not as bad as that, Mike.
Not as bad. But you will get people asking you questions and saying you can't go there, can't go that way, can't go this way.
That is true.
You know,
well,
that's bad, isn't it?
Well, that's the point, that the Chinese state authoritarianism and the kind of progressive institutional authoritarianism coming out of the West have certain areas overlap, don't they?
It's an unholy wedlock between political correctness and authoritarianism. And that Chinese guy, the shouty guy, weaponized it. You know, he used the R word. You know, once you say you're racist, then the British police just melt. You know, they just melt. And
you're lucky actually you didn't end up in the back of a police van.
You reckon?
You reckon? Yeah,
you know.
Non-crime hate incident.
Non-crime hate incident.
I know, but it was so ludicrous. Look, I'm just glad, Mike, that I actually had it filmed, because if I narrated this, people wouldn't believe me. But the fact that it was on a live stream, we live streamed the video. It was completely spontaneous, and now the world has seen it. If I had narrated this, no one would have believed it.
They wouldn't believe you.
They wouldn't believe it.
And they can watch it on YouTube, should they so wish.
Absolutely. Watch it on YouTube. It's gone all over the world. Now I've got people in Taiwan using it. I've got people in Hong Kong using it. I'm on Fox News tomorrow.
Right.
This has created a diplomatic incident with the CCP. The CCP are trying to get it removed, and CCP, YouTube have left it up, right? We are fighting to keep the video up. Go and watch the video. They want to take it down. Everyone go to YouTube and watch it and spread it, because the CCP have sent in a privacy complaint. It's not going down, baby. We're keeping it up.
Very good. Great to see you. Brendan Kavanagh. We're going to have you back, I think, Eric, in a little while. So thank you very much indeed for coming in. Keep up the good work. Where are you going to be playing tomorrow?
I think I'm having a week. I'm keeping a low profile for the moment.
And leave the country for a while. You're watching The Independent Republic of Mike Graham. Coming up after the break, Britain is in the thick of a dangerous storm. Worry about one leaves and